Da 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 da. When did Squaresoft become Square Enix? It was sort of like pretty soon after Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. I think Final Fantasy The Spirits Within the movie partially kind of tanked the company, and then they merged with Enix pretty briefly after that, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, the last Final Fantasy game to be Squaresoft, I believe, was Final Fantasy X. I kind of like the movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, though. It definitely is not very Final Fantasy in, like, the sci-fi aspect of it. But the, I thought the movie itself, as well as the themes of it, were pretty Final Fantasy, you know? 10 was released as a Square Enix game. Oh, interesting. The box, or at least here, I wonder if that's a PAL thing, 12th. Because, like, the box says Squaresoft on it. Yeah. At least in the US. Okay. We need to pop back over to Phone Coast. So where's the closest, where's the it's gotta just be up in Rabanastre, huh? Okay. Alright. So, what did I miss out on here? Looked it up when we were playing either 10 or 10-2 and found out they switched between those two games. Yeah, so 10-2 does say Square Enix on it, I believe. But it is... I think it is a thing where, I think it is a thing where the European, like the PAL version of Final Fantasy X, I think has more stuff in it, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I do remember the PAL version, though, of 10 does have more stuff, doesn't it? It's like the international version or something, and it has like the Dark Aeons or whatever. Right. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Square Enix at that point where they had added that stuff and then released it there. You think Microsoft should have bought Square? I mean, the Xbox was not the Final Fantasy system. I think yeah, I don't know. That would have been... Imagine what the world would be like today if Microsoft owned Square since the original Xbox. Reminds me of the Simpsons thing where Lionel Hutz says, "Can you imagine a world without lawyers?" And it like goes into the dream sequence of like all people of like all these different races like holding hands and singing under a rainbow. And it goes back to Lionel Hutz. Okay. Let us teleport off to the Fun Coast. I still feel like I missed something in chat. The guy on the lower left looks a little shady. Yeah, I know. He's wearing the same shirt as me. But my 3 or 4 identical twin brothers that play other instruments, yeah, I mean they show up on like almost every stream. Something's been spotted in the Ester Sand. Okay, here we go. Come to me if you want to hear about big game, and I mean big. Speaking of which, something big's been spotted in the Ester Sand. All right. So that's all the more information we have, is it's just in the Ester Sand. But real quick, let's come over to these guys. I gave 1 trophy to him already. I'll give another trophy. We'll go 2 for this guy. And now what is it? If we talk to these guys, now we get, now we have, like, stuff that we can buy. A weapon of sorts. We got the Kogorasumaru. What the hell is that? It sounds like a katana. It sucks. Alright. That's all we need. I did figure out the Behemoth King. So what's going on in the game now, for those of you who have been following the playthrough, what's going on is we've done every single hunt, except that if you look at the hunts in the clan primer, you see this little fraction of the bar that's not full. Apparently there's another hunt, but it's not on the message board, and Montblanc won't give it to me. However, somebody in the clan hall told me that Montblanc will give me another hunt if I kill a lot of rare monsters, some of which aren't even marks. And so then I found in this place, there's all these guys talking about all these rare monsters. And so this place is helping me find the rare monsters that I need to kill. So there we go. So we need to go to the Ester Sand. Here we go. What did I need to do? I had to kill not just Behemoth Kings, or not just Behemoths. I had to kill every monster in the area. In both of the areas, you know? So basically what happened was I realized that the monsters don't respawn. So like if you just run around and you keep on killing monsters, they don't respawn eventually. And so taking that information combined with the info that everybody keeps talking about this place as if it is the like deep in the forest, I took that to mean that we have to come from the direction of the Feywood. And so I came from the direction of the Feywood, and just in the snowy areas, I just killed every single monster in every area until we got to the last snow room, and he was just in there. Did it. Alright, so we are looking for a rare monster in the Ester Sand. Was he difficult? He was very, very similar to the Fafnir, in that he had like 1,000,000 HP, and he did that White Breath move, and we definitely had to like keep up. I had to be very vigilant and keep up on my buffs, play smart the whole time, switch between magic and physical based on his barriers and stuff, but I did beat him first try. But I would say he was challenging. Alright. Yeah, Popo, the usual thing happened where I got out of Midgar and then immediately just played like an asshole and killed the run within a matter of 10 minutes. And then I got no poison on Bottom's Well, but I only had 3 bio attempts anyway, but still. 3 bios, no poison. He did not cast Meteor. What the hell is this? Tiny Bug? I hardly remember these. These are from like the barracks, whatever the place was called. Hey, I was eager to move on to 12. You're goddamn right about that. But part of the reason also though is that Mia. Part of the reason also was that my train of thought is completely dead. You gotta stop it. Okay, could not deal with extra stress of cat bully. So I just had to give her some food. However, that reinforces to her that the correct thing to do to get food all the time is just to bully me. So, yikes. Anyway, what up, Jiggle Bill? But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I was saying that another thing is just that, like, I don't think that I can really stream past 5 today. I don't really want to stream past 5. Even though Wednesday I usually do. Just, I've got, stuff I gotta take care of with Nicole. So I wasn't really able to go any later than usual. Mia, you better not keep... I just put food in your bowl. What are you doing? I just put food in your bowl. Mia! Mia! Okay, I don't know what to do about this. Oh, man. Oh, I'm just waiting for her to come back down now. Okay. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? It's such a tricky thing because, like, The smart thing to do, let the cat outside. You know, it's snowy out now. So now she'll take one step out there and then come right back. But anyway, like I was trying to say, I just can't really stream past 5 today, so we're taking the opportunity to get some quality time in with Final Fantasy XII here. And then I shouldn't have any restrictions tomorrow. She's coming back down, dude. She's coming back. Mia, I gave you food. Are you unhappy with the food given? What's the deal? Don't go back to Mia. Mia. I can't stream. I can't stream like this. Mia. Mia. She's never been this bad before. Cause she knows that it pushes my buttons to fuck with my cables, you know? And I've never had her just repeatedly come back down and mess with it before. You know what part of it might be is that last week Nicole was working from home. And so I think that kind of threw off her idea of the daily schedule, you know? Where, like, she should have Nicole to bother right now, but she doesn't. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But normally, around this time of day, I just need to, like, fill her food dish back up, and then she's fine. Because, like, she can come down here and cuddle. That's fine. She does that plenty, right? That's great. It's when she specifically starts fucking with my cables is because she wants to annoy me. And when she wants to annoy me, 99% of the time that means she wants me to put food in her dish, you know? But yeah, like I'm saying, I think she you know what I think? Oh, I bet I know exactly what's going on. Okay, so normally, she starts bullying me, so I go upstairs and I put some food in her dish. And then I come back down and everything's fine. Last week, however, Nicole was home, and whenever Mia started bullying me, Nicole would hear it and she would call Mia upstairs. And then Mia would run upstairs to her. You know what I bet happened? I bet Nicole gave her treats. I bet Nicole called her upstairs and then gave her treats. So now she wants treats. I bet. I bet that's what's going on. I bet that's what's in her head right now. Is that she can get treats from me. It's not happening, Mia. You've got food in your bowl. Yeah, come up here. Just come cuddle. Cuddling is fun. Yeah, see, now we're having a good time. There we go. All right, give me a second to fix the frame rate here. There we go. Aw, see. See, who wouldn't just want this? I'm gonna have to ask Nicole when she gets home. Yeah, she did puke on my chair the other day and I had to shampoo it. The chair is freshly shampooed now because, someone puked on it. Who puked on it? I bet it was you, Mia, wasn't it? I bet it was you. I just don't know who wouldn't want to do this to a cat right here. Aww. Right before the 50-yard toss. Okay, Mia, I accept your apology, right? The apology cuddles I am accepting of. Now just don't let these apology cuddles turn right back into being a bitch, alright? I accept the apology cuddles. Now we're having a good time. But that doesn't mean that you get to just reset the bitch-o-meter, you know? Okay. Let's pop back in here. Let's pop that on as well. And alright, so we are looking for just a rare monster in the Ester Sand. We were not given any direction as to any more details other than that it is in the Ester Sand. So all we are looking for is a rare monster. Chairman was relaxing nice and cozy on the floor, and then Joey ran over and attacked him. Oh, yeah. Status of waterfall puzzle, it is on hold until I potentially have more information. I'm kind of thinking I might need to do the last hunt in order to figure it out, you know what I mean? I kind of feel like the Journey Heaven and Earth part of the puzzle is sort of saying like 100% the game. You know what I mean? Like you need to see everything, right? We need to, you need to journey heaven and earth, right? Do everything. And that's how we will find the Heart of Time. And oh yeah, this fluffy handrest, it is warm. It is fluffy. It is gently purring. So I'm having a look up here because there was one rare monster so far that we had to spawn by looking down from above. I'm just seeing if they're going to do that again, you know. But I wonder if there's also one that might, like, spawn by looking up at it, you know? Or over here. What if we can, like, spot it from here? Well, this is Mia. I think you're doing it on purpose at this point, Lou. Uh-oh. Mia, don't be eyeballing the bully spot. She's starting to get antsy, and she's glancing at the spot that she needs to go to if she wants to bother me. Oh, yes, yes. The cutest thing of all is Magic's absence at this point. Okay. So now there is another part of the Ester Sand. So we'll check that place out as well here. If we stand here though, I just want to have a long look at the sun here. Look at that sun. Okay, yeah, we got to get back down there. Okay. Let's go.
This desert is stupid.
We'll get on to the other side of it here. Alright. Man, it's funny how this game just became my life for so long here. Ooh, I kind of wonder if the monster is beach-based. You know? Like, what if we can get, like, a big monster to pop out of the beach? Making it your girlfriend. Sometimes it does feel like you have to dump a game, right? You realize that your relationship with the game is just bad is just bad for your health. Do I remember Beavis and Butthead down Mexico Way? I'm not sure. Oh, where they eat all the pills. It's been a very, very long time since I've seen it, but I do vaguely remember an episode where they eat a lot of pills. 'Cause, like, the guy wants them to smuggle them, right? Because they're going across the border. Yeah, Luca. Well, it was a 641. But yeah, very nice. I'm very happy with it. All right, Mia, I'm going to let you go, but where are you? Mia. Okay, okay. I am absolutely covered in her hair now from all the petting and then carrying her. Okay. So here we are in the other... I think it's more likely that the rare monster is going to be in this area, because this is the higher level area of the two. Alright, alright. Who knows? Maybe we just gotta take out a bunch of dogs. Oh yeah, there's Worgans and Alpha Worgans. I'll check the beaches as well. I'm pretty suspicious of the beaches here. Man, I've got like actual anxiety over this cat right now. I'm just like constantly just worried about any second her little head could pop around the corner again. Oh? A chocobo? A brown chocobo? Whoa, what's this thing? Is this the dire sore? Oh, this thing's normal. I mean, that's kind of the thing, MR, is that like at some point you have to consider like, how can I just separate myself from the cat while I'm working? And that I used to do that. I used to stream from a room that was closed off to the cats. But the thing is, I feel like the cats showing up and cuddling and stuff, that's part of the show, you know? That's part of the show that I don't want to go away. And one thing about cats is that you can't give them access to a room sometimes and not other times. You know? Because if you give a cat access to the room only sometimes, then when you close the door, they're gonna freak the fuck out, just the worst. Fart in her face? I've done that. She doesn't even like respond to it. It's like she doesn't even know what it is. She doesn't appreciate the humor. You think my farts don't smell? You know, that used to be true. But then I started having more fiber in my diet. And immediately when I started actually eating fiber, suddenly my farts and poop both became unbelievably stinky. So I've realized that that's the secret. I think if you guys want your farts to be stinky, because it's funnier that way, make sure you're getting your fiber. I feel like these Worgans might have something to do with the rare monster here. You know, you just kind of got to look at every area and figure out what is unique about this area, you know? This area has packs of Worgans, which is interesting. It's got these beaches with these things, which is interesting. Oh. Oh wait, no. I thought. Oh, I was like, oh, X potion. But no. That's very normal in this game. Yo, Mark. She's coming back. Mia's coming back. Right now, it looks like she's coming back just to lay down 15 feet away. Because she knows if she just lays down 15 feet away, then, you know, she's giving me the proper amount of anxiety that she might go start fucking with me at any moment. Not yet, Mark. I am focusing on trying to unlock the final hunt first. And in order to do that, I have to fight rare monsters. And so I was told by an NPC that there is a rare monster in this area. So I'm just running around taking monsters out, seeing if I can... I mean, the black chocobo is also unique to this area. So, or brown chocobo. I really don't like fighting chocobos. Don't like fighting chocobos, but there being a chocobo standing around here is kind of unique to the area. So, for the sake of, you know, for the sake of our research, I think we gotta take it out. And then, is there another Ester Sand? Oh, there is another Ester Sand area up here. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is just rezone and see if the okay, let's just take a glance around here real quick. All right. Hi, Mia. Oh, hi, Mia. Are you here to be nice again? Oh yeah, I just want to see if, like, defeating that chocobo and then rezoning makes something else spawn here. But the rezoning, I'm not sure how much that is a thing for rare monsters or if it's just a thing for hunts, for marks, you know. Yeah, okay. So, alright, let's just go search that upper area then. It's true, Lou, it's true. Nicole calls her Butterbutt. It works on a couple levels. Firstly, I think she came up with Butterbutt because she had diarrhea one time. You know, and it stuck after that. But also, Mia loves butter. Like, if you were to leave out a stick of butter, she would just eat it. And if you're ever eating food that has butter in it, she's, like, up in your face and really wants it. Which, I don't think she would be as up in your face about it if Nicole didn't give her butter. You know, or like, cave to it, right? It's true. She left a stick of butter out one time. Came back to Mia, haven't eaten like half of it. All right, so over here. I wonder how long each of these rare monsters is going to take to find. What I'm hoping for, sort of, is that if the requirement is that I kill certain monsters, I hope I'm allowed to just kill all the monsters and have it count, you know? Oh yeah, my cats can get pets whenever they want. Whoa! Oh, I thought I was going to be able to grab this chest from down here. Or from up here. Wait. Do you have the diamond armlet on still? Okay, yes. You know, I've only just realized in this entire game, I've only just realized that you generally don't get money from defeating enemies. You just get loot that you sell, which is also very MMO-ish. So he did say that we're looking for big game here. Whoa, that wolf just fucking moseyed up here. Yeah, the closest thing that I own to shorts is I do have a pair of swimming trunks, which have been used, like, twice. But I do have them. I've told you guys, right? Like, I'm not a swimmer. I can't swim, really. You know, at this point, I'm able to sort of, like... I'm sort of able to, like... doggy paddle across a pool. Right, and that's the closest that I get to swimming, is like a little paddle across a pool, you know? Which is, oh, that's a hell of a workout. Oh my god. But yeah, like a year ago when Nicole and I went to Bemidji, we stayed in a hotel where they had an indoor pool. So we went swimming, you know? It's winter 350 days a year here. Yeah, but you know what is a big kind of Midwestern thing? Is to wear shorts outside in the winter. It's like a thing people do to be cool. Like, just pretend that they don't get cold. Oh? Where did you come from? Is it just a white people thing in general? Is that not just a Midwestern thing? Well, I mean, I think it's a Midwestern thing because of the weather here. What I mean is people here have shorts because it's warm a lot of the time, but then when it's not warm, they wear the shorts anyway to be cool. Okay, okay. Yeah. In Minnesota, we do have a nice hot summer. You know, especially in June it starts to get high. July, August, we're in the 90s to lower 100s. A lot of days. But then October to April, it's just miserably cold out. Particularly like January, February, March. Oh god, it's just that's when we're below zero and hey. But yeah, if you're just waiting for the bus or something, yeah, just hoodie, shorts. That way everyone will look at you and be like, wow, what a cool, tough guy just wearing shorts. Oh yeah, even before streaming, I mean, my last employment was work from home. I've worked from home since 2014? Of course, with occasional, work commutes. Right, there's an office that sometimes you gotta go to for some kind of event or something, right? That's not out of the ordinary. Or sometimes there'll be a office build that I had to go to the office to do, and that would be even be a fly to another state and stay in a hotel for a week, while you did that. And a couple times it was even out of country. I went to Brazil for a couple weeks. I went to Colombia for a couple weeks. Set up offices in those places. That was awesome. I really enjoyed being in Brazil. Brazil was beautiful. And the food was super good. And people were pretty laid back. Did I go skiing in Colombia? No, it was hot when I was there. I didn't really spend any time, just around, though. In Brazil, I was in a hotel that was, a block away from the office, and, I mean, I just walked to the office and back to the hotel every day. I didn't really go out. Whoa. In Colombia, though, I had to have a taxi bring me to the office every day. And man, the traffic was just insane. As in the cars were kind of tiny, and they were just packed together on the roads, just packed tight. I couldn't believe how close all the cars were together, just jamming themselves into every turn. And then on top of that, there was also, speaking of skillfully dodging, there was also a bunch of dirt bikes basically, or little motorbikes that people were just weaving through the cars down the streets all the time, and oh man. And then one day, one of the places that I worked at was a warehouse, It was a little warehouse office I was setting up, and it was off a dirt road. So we turned off the main road and went down a dirt road for like a little bit before getting to the warehouse, and the first day, the taxi driver, who didn't speak much English, like kind of pointed out the road as we were driving on it, and he said something like, "Here at night, bad guys," or something, and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Bad guys at night." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then another one of the days that we were driving down that road, one of the days that we were driving down that dirt road, the whole road, like 10 feet apart, was just lined with like army dudes with rifles. Just like the whole road down, they're just standing there at the side of the road, just like at the ready. And I was like, what the fuck happened here? So that was Colombia. On the way back from Colombia, I was also randomly stopped to be checked in the airport. I was randomly selected for additional security 3 times on my way coming back from Colombia and getting back to the U.S., where they like looked through all my stuff and like, you know, had like these tools that they like scrubbed my stuff with. I think probably checking it for like trace coke, probably. So, you know, good thing I didn't do any coke while I was there, because, you know, they probably would have found it. Totally fuzzy. No, I 100% understand that I look like a drug dealer. No question. Like, I get it. You know, no part of me really minds being stopped. If they're just going to stop me, look at my stuff real quick, and then let me on my way, right? I'm fine with that. Awesome. Additional security. That's just fine, right? I would only be bothered getting stopped additionally if, like, they were dicks about it. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna pin something on you that isn't even a thing. You know what I mean? Like that's where that kind of thing becomes an issue. But yeah, if it's just, hey, you've been stopped, all right, here, look at my stuff. And they're like, okay, you're good to go. And I'm like, all right, you know, totally fine. Oh yeah, no question. I would randomly stop me. No question. And then during the search, I'd be like, so, hear any good death metal bands recently? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, dude. What did I just hear the other day? There was a pretty cool band I just heard. Oh well, don't remember. Well, I don't seem to be finding a rare monster in the Ester Sand here. I'm not sure what the trigger is that they're expecting me to do to get it to spawn. It might be a thing where I have to come in from another side. You had a job up north on Baffin Island in Canada. Had to watch a presentation about the local, First Nations population. One of the slides stated it's very disrespectful to say no to them. It's not uncommon for them to, let's say you help a local fix their snowmobile. They would offer up a night with their wife as thanks, What are you talking about? You'd have to say yes, but schedule it so that. Wait, what are you talking about? I need a. What's the ending of this now? I don't even understand what the ending is. So you say yes, but schedule it when you were done your run and weren't there. Okay. You just have to say yes, but schedule it so it won't come up. Oh, yeah, totally. I remember hearing when I was a kid, we were having some kind of class about like cultures and like business in different cultures and that kind of thing. And the only thing that I remember, and I'm presenting this to you as something that is missing context, you know, and that's the point. Whoa, what's this? This is our guy, the Bonga pugilist. This has to be it. This has to be our guy. Oh, let's go. Okay. Let's get all ready. We don't know how strong this guy's going to be. Oh, he is green, though. He's green bar. So, like, he's not even going to fuck with me until I fuck with him. Alright, here we go. You're really, hyping this guy up. I bet I'm gonna kill him in one. We're gonna get... Wait. No! Oh. Wait, he didn't drop a trophy. That wasn't our guy. I wanted to steal from him. Or wait, we want regen, just not haste? I wonder if I was supposed to, like, team up with that guy or something, you know? Like, what if I was actually supposed to, like, just hang out with that guy? And then, like, the rare monster was gonna spawn. Or how about this? What if defeating that guy now made it so that, a rare monster spawns in his place. Or down here. The fact that he had question marks. But then, I mean, Ash did, the crystal means that we have the protect buff. We're protect. Or, protected. Which is half physical damage? We take half physical damage, I think. Alright, there's going to be a rare monster in that guy's place. No, I wish it showed all buffs, but instead there's like a priority system. It only shows one buff. With like a priority system of which one gets shown. Which is kind of annoying. So to check what all your buffs are, you have to, like, target yourself, and we can see, oh, we're protected, shelled, bubbled, and Libra'd, you know. Or you can go into this menu and see all of them. Okay, well, we got some pretty clear direction to go to the Ester Sand. However, I am not finding anything here. Okay. Well, tell you what. I am going to leave from this direction and come back, make one more sweep through the Ester Sand, and then make my way into... Oh! And then make my way off. Whoa, is this just an elemental? Yeah. Toby, hello. How's it going? Why, thank you very much for resubscribing. Good to have you here. We are combing the desert. I am noticing a distinct lack of monsters this time. Where the hell did all the monsters go, huh? Yeah, Final Fantasy XII and Tomb Raider 2 are the two backups currently. I'm itching for some Castlevania, though. So I'm thinking that the next game is going to be Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. And then, yeah, dude, we ain't found shit. Oh, and then on Fridays, I was going to say, yes, on Fridays, Popo and I are doing co-op Elden Ring. Huh. So after defeating the Bonga Pugilist, I can't help but notice that there's, like, not any monsters here anymore, except for this guy and this guy. I mean, maybe they just didn't respawn and I didn't go off far enough. Yeah, so we're doing the Seamless Co-op mod. It's a mod for the PC version that makes it so that, like, the co-op is just, like, you're just sticking around, you know? Like, you don't get unsummoned ever. You're just constantly together. Even if somebody dies, there's like a balancing system where they respawn at the bonfire, but or the grace, but they have a debuff until you sit back down at the bonfire, you know? So yeah, it's a super fun way to play. And yeah, we just started fresh with new characters. Get to high ground to try to find these big targets, right? This is the Ester Sand, specifically the Broken Sands. All right, I'm gonna zone out and in one more time because of the fact that they're like, because of the monster situation. And then, like I said, I'm kind of making my way back to the Orange Crystal now, so I can go back to Fawn Coast and, I don't know, talk to the guy again, see what he says. I'm also starting to think that maybe I am supposed to be in the lower level area right now, because maybe, because the last guy that I fought was in the Giza Plains. So actually it would make sense for the next hunt to be a lower level hunt. as well. Like, maybe they're giving me them in the sequence of what level they are. But nah, because the first one they gave me was... The first one that they gave me was, in the high waist. And I had to fight that other guy. Remember that other guy that I had to fight? That was like where Exodus was? So yeah. I don't think I should pay too much attention to what level the area is. It seems to be a mixed bag of where they're sending me. I also might want to, like, Oh, I'm losing it. Losing it. What was I doing? What? Oh, yeah, go talk to Mont Blanc again and see if maybe just those couple guys that I, you know, just those couple dudes that I've gotten were enough. Dude, I got out of Midgar and immediately screwed up the world map manipulation, which lost some time. Well, you know, which just lost time. I made a bunch of mistakes during Calm Skip that got us like a minute behind. And then no Poison Bottoms well killed the run. And don't really have time to do a reset today because I gotta be done streaming at 5 today. So that is you know, a healthy 3 more hours from now. But not enough time for a whole run. Okay. I did mention that I'm suspicious of the beaches as well. Let me give another shot at the beaches down here. Hello. Any scary monsters to spawn? What if we... Yeah! And... Yeah! Okie doke, okie doke. One more beach down here. Hello. All right. Let's get back over. Let's get back over to the coast and kind of refresh ourselves here. Okay. Might as well talk to Fishing Rod Guy again, just in case we happen to have a fishing rod and I never noticed. You know, what if? Nope. Okay, we do not have the rod. He's like, man, this guy. I wish Vaughn would just say something. I kind of need a fishing rod. You got any ideas? Yeah, I do have an idea. Go fucking get one. Had an hour-long adventure where you died at the end. you know, Zodiark was very out of the way from save points. So that kind of happened to us the first time I fought Zodiark. Yo, Joe. Glad to hear you're having a good day. I'm doing pretty well. Kind of got some anxiety today over this cat, but the cat seems to be cooled off now. She was fucking with me a bunch earlier. Wrote some short stories. Man, when I was younger, when I was in middle school, I wrote some short stories because I wrote one short story for English class, you know, about space chickens, as in it was like about astronauts who discovered a new planet, but they were chickens, and the story was about them being chickens. And my teacher really liked it, and the thing was, we had this thing called the I can't remember what it was called, but at the end of the year, basically, there was this like committee in like a art class that would put together an arts magazine. That was like, they did it once a year, you know, at the end of the year. They would like compile a bunch of submissions. Some of them were short stories, some of them were poems, some of them were drawings, right? And my teacher really liked this space chicken story, so she was like, oh, you should submit it to the art magazine. And so I did, and they printed it, and it's probably, if I were to look back and read it now, it's probably the most terrible, embarrassing thing of my entire life. So I hope every copy of that magazine has been destroyed. Oh? Oh! On the beach, baby! Let's go! Whoop. Oh, hang on. I forgot I actually have to buff. Prepare for the worst. Let's go. Stole a wind crystal. All right, all right. Let's get going then. Whoops. And then also pop that back on. All right, here we go. Oh, immediately dead. Okay. Well, yeah, that wasn't our target either. I mean, these are at least rare monsters that we're fighting, right? So maybe they'll still count. If we go, oh, I just realized something. What we're probably supposed to be doing right now is like filling out a certain percentage of the bestiary, right? Like, we need one more of these guys in order to... Oh, I wonder if just filling out the bestiary is kind of what we're supposed to do. Like, we need to fight 2 more woolly gators and 6 more werewolves in order to, like, complete... Oh, and 7 more wild snakes in the Giza Plains. I mean, kind of we might as well do that while we're here, right? So hang on here. Where the hell is the Ester Sand? Oh, this is just the Dalmasca Sands. Okay. So... Well, what about the Worgans, though? Like, all these so I guess the Worgans just count as a wolf? Oh, no, they count under high waist. Okay. But then we need 1 fire elemental? Oh, man, I just saw a fire elemental. But I didn't fight it. Okay, okay. Well, anyway, are there... Then there's got to be a separate spot for rare monsters then, right? So here's the marks. We got all of those. Elite marks, got all of those. Espers, okay. Bosses. Okay, and then rare game. Here we go. So like, Greedon, we just got this guy. Rarity 3. Okay. So yeah, the only thing that I saw... The only thing I saw just there that I need more of is that fire elemental. So yeah, I'm thinking like we don't necessarily need to be getting specifically the rare monsters that drop the trophies. The guy made it sound like we just need rare monsters. So fighting that Greedon right there, perfect. You know, I think that that's just as good as what we were looking for. One thing I should probably do, though, is I should actually look at all of these in order to mark them off so that we know after we... Oh, man, you can't just, like, flip between them, though. And you have to actually page through it. Wait, 43 of 78? So I would need to get even more of them in order to get more... Oh, no. These are 29 of 78. Oh, it's just saying that there's 78 Sage Knowledge entries. I see. Oops. Okay. Yeah, the other mainstream Final Fantasies are the ones after this. So 13 and 15. Just 13 and 15. I have played 1 through 10 and 10 too. And then on top of that, I did not play 11. Whoop. Oh, okay. So I want to mark everything off here just so that when I do fight a rare monster, I'll be able to see that indeed it's on my bestiary now. Now that we're kind of paying attention to this. Oh my god, though. This is going to take so long. Okay, actually, fuck it. We're just going to do the rare games. I'm just going to do these. Wow, look at the rarity on some of these. I'm curious if this says anything. Once felled the legendary yada yada. Okay. So that was specifically in the dry. This guy is just in the high waist. Seeing if there's something that it says that we could take to mean that, like, there's more guys in the future. Like, how are we going to find them? Okay. Let's pop down here for a glance. Got yourself stuck in 13, but it had such a long tutorial section that you never went back to it. Yeah, so I did play 13 when it was brand new, but I didn't like it very much. And that was back before I really played much Final Fantasy, you know? I grew up playing Final Fantasy 7 and Tactics, and then, like, at some point in my teens, I played the Dawn of Souls Final Fantasy 1 for Game Boy Advance. And that was it. That was all the Final Fantasy I had played until I decided in like 2016 that I was going to play all of them, you know? All the mainstream ones, right? And so playing original versions of each since 2016, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10-2. Skipped over 11 because it's online, and now we're on this one. And this is by far the longest it's taken me to... This is the most time that I've spent on any single one by far. Oh, I thought I turned these off. Oh, and as far as 14 goes, I have played a bit of 14 as well. I got a black mage to level, like, I don't know, 45 or something. Not exactly sure. That's about what I remember, though. I did get super caught up in, like, the gathering and crafting for a while, you know? I really enjoyed, like, tailoring and all of the different gatherings that went into it, you know? Like, little bit of fishing, little bit of herbalism, whatever you would call that. Yeah, 12 is... right. I didn't know what I was going to think about this one going into it, you know? Botany, there we go. Right, herbalism is what it's called in WoW. But yeah, like when I was, you know, starting up this game, I really did not know what I was, you know, had no idea what I was going to think of it. Kind of what I was saying at the start of this game is that this game is very good, and it's really scratching an itch as far as, like, the kind of game that I want to play, you know? Like, it's scratching the MMO itch for me, you know? Where, like, the gameplay loop here is very fun and satisfying. However, it's not really necessarily scratching the Final Fantasy itch, you know? Because it is so different. But now I just got super fucking hooked on it. Like, I'm super hooked on this game. So... It's quite good. Oh no, I just don't want her to put her sword away. Ah! So now she has to take it back out. Alright, well I found a rare monster. So my idea now is I'm just going to go talk to Montblanc and see what he says. See if I've done if I've hunted enough rare monsters yet. Oh, it's another Banga here. Which is good because we need one more of these guys for the, Oh, Ash. Wow, Ash actually automatically cast regen on this guy as if he was a friend. Oh, he's an ally. The Rabanaster Watch. I could kick this guy's ass into next week if I wanted. I kind of feel like we should follow this guy and maybe he'll lead us to the rare monster. You know? What if we just hang out with this guy? He is panting over Fran here. Did you see that? And now over Ash. Dude, like, fucking... This guy needs to learn some manners. My eyes are up here, Rabanaster Watch. Okay, I don't think that we're getting the rare monster to spawn by hanging out with that guy. Wait, I never even looked down here. Wait a second, I never looked. The Ester Sand is huge. I never looked in this area or the bottom area. Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't realize that there's an entire 3 more sections of Ester Sand that I hadn't looked at yet. So this is the place where, like, at the very start of the game, these are basically the first, like, besides the rats that you fight, right? These are like the first enemies you fight in the game. When you're like when you're solo Vaughn. Okay, so what's that over there? That's Nalbina Fortress. Oh, and yeah, Fuzzy. In Final Fantasy XIV, right, I really enjoy the crafting and the gathering because it's like a fight. Exactly. It's like you're doing a fight. It's really engaging and fun. One thing that's a little scary about that, though, is that, like, it means that I'll be rusty at it if I go back to the game. I'll have to, like, recraft some old stuff in order to figure out again how to do it. Which is also fun and interesting in its own way, you know? That, like, I actually have a real skill rustiness with the crafting that I would have to de-rust from. Can we peek a rare monster through the crack here? Is this the secret? Like, when they showed me that the first rare monster spawns via looking down from above, that introduced, like, okay, all bets are off. Well, it just introduced the concept that spawning a rare monster might actually just be, like, standing in a certain spot for a minute. But alright. I say we pop down here and do the same thing from this side. I think I cut that cactoid right in half. Eh? Are we gonna secretly spot a rare monster here? Nah, looks like not. Okay. So we got Giza Plains down that way. I think I pretty much searched this whole place, but it looks like the kind of place where it's easy to miss a small bit, you know? So we'll just take one more glance around. Like, here's the alpha. Here's our boy again. But okay, there is... Oh, just some cockatrices? Hang on, does that mean that I never came down here at all? I think it does, because I don't remember cockatrices. So... after this, we've just got one more area of Ester Sand to just kind of run around for a minute, see if the rare guy spawns. And that's Giza Plains down there, so we're definitely going up this way. But alright. Alright. So here's like the outpost. You know, this is actually a place I haven't been in a long time. So while we're here, I gotta talk to every NPC here. Because, like, might be a fishing rod here. What if there's a fishing rod here? Or just, you know, something interesting. Is this where we brought the medicine for the one guy? My friend and I left the wood to travel the world of the Humes, but Bujerba, Rabanastre, the din of these places is too great. The village, this desert, this is quiet for us. Not often we get Vieira through here. I remember the first time I saw one. Must have been during Princess Ash's wedding. As for my replacement, well, I've pretty much given up on him now. I'm just passing the time listening to this fella. I suppose I should talk to him twice as well, just in case there's like a thing. A Dark Souls thing, you know. Is this the kid we saved? Pretty hot, huh? 100 Jill if you want to rest. I mean, we might as well just interact with the mechanic, you know? I'm not sure what this will actually do for me, except that it's a mechanic that I'm interacting with. This is just a nameless outpost on the road between Rabanastre and Nalbina. Whichever way you're headed for, you've not got too far to go. Okay, yep. Oh, shiny object. Nice. 1 Jill. Ba 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 ba. Is it just these 4 people? Bojan. Well, shit. I guess it's just those 4 people. All right. So this right here is the final area to to comb in order to try to find this rare monster. And if it's here, it's one of those funny things where, you know, it's always in the last place you look. I find that, you know, that phrase is like a joke because it's like, yeah, because when you find it, you stop looking, har, 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 you know what I mean? But, like, I do find in video games, it's true an alarming amount of the time where, like, if there is a limited scope of the areas in which you need to search, right? There's a limited scope. Like here, it's the Ester Sand, right? And so it's like, okay, there's 6 different Ester Sand areas. It's crazy how often in video games it will be in the 6th place that you look out of 6. Like, I feel like there's some kind of... It must be just years and years of purposefully always going the wrong way in games to make sure that you don't miss anything, you know? That, like, intuition just now also causes me to always look in the correct place last when there's something specific that I'm searching for. I don't know, you tell me, but I feel like that's definitely happening. Oh, excuse me. Take this vantage point for a moment. It does kind of seem like some rare monsters spawn when you spend a certain amount of time in a certain place. For example, you know, of course, there was the one that we already saw where we had to go to the high up spot to get it to spawn below. But then also, I feel like that alligator spawned when we stood in the beach for too long. At the same time, though, I stood in that beach water a lot of times. But then again, the previous times that I stood in the beach water for a long time, I wasn't looking for a rare monster. So he probably did spawn and I ignored him. In fact, thinking back to it, pretty sure that did happen. The alligator spawned and I ignored him because I was looking for the Site 11 key, not a rare monster. So anyway, the point is, there definitely seems to be a relatively commonly used mechanic in this game where you need to stand around in a certain spot until something spawns. Yeah, there's also some weather stuff. The only time that I know of so far, besides the dry and the floods of Giza Plains, which is a big deal, besides that, the only time that I've seen the weather actually matter was the blizzard hunt. But the blizzard hunt was less a puzzle of, like, being there when it's blizzardy. It turned out that it was just, like, it would be blizzardy for it would be blizzardy, for a couple zones. So it was more a puzzle of, like, how do we get there in as few zone transition as possible, you know? Oh, yeah, I mean, it's already been confirmed, Big Lil. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm describing, are the times in which it's already been confirmed. Oh, here we go, here we go. Nah, Dash, you didn't actually solve the puzzle. I just realized I'm behind on my Soylent intake today. Oh, yeah. Man, I can't wait for the massive dump I'm going to take later from that calzone I ate yesterday. All right, all right. Did I eat some fiber along with it? Soylent is a good source of fiber. Trust me, ever since I started drinking Soylent, my poops have been marvelous. Before, you know, it used to be that every bowel movement was just one solid rock, basically a cube, that would just thunk and sink straight to the bottom, right? And that was it. That was my little egg, you know. And that's how it always was. Started drinking Soylent. Immediately just had normal poops ever since then. But like I was saying earlier also, though, and I'm not sure whether it's the Soylent specifically or probably just fiber, they also became much more stinky. It is a meal replacement beverage. You can get it in like a powder that you mix up with water, or you can just get bottles of it. And yeah, it's just like, basically, it's one bottle is 400 calories and then 20% of like every like vitamin and thing that you need, you know? So the idea is you would drink like up to 5 a day, right? I drink 2 a day and then just have dinner, right? I drink 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and then I have dinner. I should, Fuzzy. I did email them. Well, I couldn't find what their email was, so I DM'd them on Twitter. And they sent me back an email to email. But then the email didn't work. Like I got the mailback system, you know? Scaploony! How's it going, Scaploony? Why, thank you for staying subscribed for 38 months, Jesus Christ! But yeah, the email that they told me to email kicked back to me. So I DM'd them back, like, hey, that email didn't work. And then they were like, oh, okay, we forwarded your information to the relevant party. Hopefully you'll hear back. And that's where we're at. They probably came into the stream at some point, and I was saying something like Soylent makes my poop stinky. And then they were straight out of here, like, nope, not this guy. Could you do 3 a day? Yeah, you could. Absolutely. Okay, I am not finding this rare monster. I'm just gonna talk to Montblanc. See if he says anything new to me. And then, if not, maybe we'll come back and look again. Bum ba bum bum ba bum. Oh? Oh. Okay. Just noticed something about OBS there for a second. Alright, alright. I still had one of my riffs active, so it would have jump scared me if I switched scenes. But yeah, it's especially convenient for breakfast because there's a coffee soylent, and so it's like coffee and breakfast at the same time while I'm streaming. It's great. Because, like, the last thing I want to do when I wake up is, like, just, like, sit down and eat food, you know? Instead, I can jump straight into a stream, be barely awake, but we're getting going. In the summertime, though, what I like to do is get up and take a walk. Grab a coffee soylent, run, you know, step outside, just take a walk outside. I think, yeah, this is where we go. Alright, let's try this again here. Mont Blanc, do you have... Or Mont Blanc, you know, knowing how these kinds of names are usually said. Do you have a new hunt for me? How fares your hunt, Kupo? Ah, he's got no more hunts to tell me about. But this guy, you're still gonna reassure me, right? Bring down some really strong monsters that aren't even marks. Okay, yeah, but where are they? And now we're still Knight of the Round, right? Is our deal? We've been Knight of the Round for like a million years. And then what do you have to say? You have climbed the clan ranks quickly. I know of no rank higher. Well done. Now listen, do not cease your climb. The ranks I do not know, attain them. That guy's been saying that forever. You know what movie I haven't seen in a while? Predator. I should watch that again. I should also watch First Blood again. So, a few years ago, I got on like a classic movie kick, you know? Where I watched First Blood, Terminator 1, Predator 1, Alien, right? Like those movies. And I watched a few others, Soylent Green. I watched Tron. You know, a couple others. And then I also did watch like Rambo 2, Aliens, Terminator 2, you know. But First Blood really impressed me. That movie was so good. So much better than I was expecting. You know, I didn't really know what to expect, really. But man, it was good. What's First Blood? It's the first Rambo movie. Yeah. It is so good. So now I want to watch it again. Because now it's been a few years. But all I really remember is of all those old movies that I watched, I think that one was my favorite. Well, but I mean, besides Terminator 2, but that was one that I had seen before. I was just watching an Illusory Wall video on YouTube about Dark Souls 3. Whoa, speaking of Dark Souls, look at that over there. You can actually see, is that Nalbina Fortress? Whoa, whoa, look at that. You can see it from here. Oh, that's cool. That's what I'm... No, I turned into Family Whale for a second there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Well, I don't have very much direction now. I feel like this is kind of what I expected to happen with these hunts, is that I would just run... Once I came up on one that I can't find, I would run out of steam and then go, well, maybe it's not worth it. I don't know, though. We found a rare monster already. We did find one rare monster already. But anyway, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah! I was watching an episode, or Illusory Wall video about Dark Souls 3, and they pointed out that there's this one level, or there's this one area, where you can see, like, 2 other areas off in the distance, but it's so far off in the distance that they didn't, like, model it. Instead, it's just part of the skybox, right? It's just a 2D image as part of the skybox. And he was saying that, normally... a skybox is loot. Like, if we're looking in this direction, you see those cloud formations to the left. If you whip 180 degrees, you'll see the same skybox. Maybe mirrored. I think it's mirrored, you know? And there's, like, a seam where it mirrors, usually. And so he's saying, like, you would expect these 2 buildings, or these 2 areas that you can see from afar that are in the skybox to be on the other side as well. And it turns out they are, but FromSoft put like 2 mountains in front of them. You know, in front of the skybox, there's 2 modeled mountains that they put in front of it, so that you can only see it from the one. You can only see them where they're supposed to be. I thought that was super interesting. I don't know, EMC. I have 0 point of reference as to how many rare monsters I need to find in order for the new hunt to appear. But I have found 1 rare monster so far today. But my only direction whatsoever on the current monster that I'm looking for is that it is in the Ester Sand. So, you know, I'm just running around. I found like a gator earlier, which I think might have spawned because I stood in the water. But that is it so far. The little sounds that the cactoids make are really cute. I had a roommate for a while that had a cat that didn't meow, and instead of meowing, she just like went like. It was super, super cute. And she did it a lot too when you pet her. If you like held her and pet her, she would just sit there loving it, just. Okay, so I also kind of want to like wonder if it spawns when you come in from the from that place, from the worm's nest. I don't know how much of them it's gonna matter which direction you came from, you know, but like it might. That's definitely something that was established with regular hunts. Oh. Whoa. This cactoid's got a silly head. And he popped out of the ground right in front of me. There's plenty of alpha wolves, and so I was thinking it might have something to do with them. The alphas. Man, every time I saw this, you guys know Charlie White on YouTube, Moist Critical? He made a video about this TikToker one time that was the alpha male, and the videos were so fucking dumb that, like, I can't quit thinking about them. Basically, the guy just, like, mimed beating someone up off camera. Not really, Taco. It didn't seem so. It didn't seem so. Maybe I just don't understand the humor. But most of the videos, this is the other thing that is crazy to me. My only like exposure to TikTok is Charlie videos, and it seems like there's a lot of channels that just make the same video every day. I mean, okay. You know what? That's real rich coming from a Final Fantasy VII speedrunner who just plays Final Fantasy VII every day. Okay, I get it. You got me there. But it's like, it was like every one of this guy's videos was just like some non-alpha male interacting with a lady, but there wasn't any dialogue, there was just music playing, right? It was just them miming having a conversation, right? And then this guy, the alpha male, pops into frame and takes the guy and throws him out of the frame, and then, like, this is the camera, right? He just, like, mimes beating up the side of the camera frame for a second, and then he's the alpha male. And then the thing that made it seem like not comedy was that, like, at some point, apparently, the channel transformed into, like, the girl having some kind of thing, like, that she had to say, like, I'm the kind of girl that likes this kind of thing, right? And they would just, like, say something, and he'd be like, that's right. And, oh, the ripe rampager! Oh, this is it, baby. Let's go. Okay, let's take these off for a second. While we steal from it. Steal from it. Oh, but thief cuffs. Let's go. Oh, look at this cute ass thing. All right. Oh, we'll get it. You know, if I could get 2 more thief cuffs, do I have more thief's cuffs? I do. All right, here's what we do. Steal? Steal. This looks like it's gonna not be worth it with how long it takes. Oh, and then also Ash. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. We immediately got it after doing that. So now, Genji gloves, diamond armlet, ribbon, gambits, attack, attack, attack. All right, there we go. Let's get him. Yeah. Okay, no trophy. So now, though, that no trophy means that that's not the thing that we're getting for the guy. However, if we come down here at our rare game, oh, there we go. Very nice. All right, we found 2 more rare monsters. You saw these videos where a guy would have an argument with an idiot, but played both parts. And he really tells the idiot off, and you can tell it was one of those things where it's the stuff he wished he said to someone at work. Right. Just got home from work all mad at the customer and made these little empowerment fantasy plays on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, we've all done it, right? We've all done it where you have a little altercation with someone, you don't think of the right thing to say at the time because you're a little flustered, right? And then you just sit there and argue with the guy in your head for the next week. Totally. I have fake arguments with people in my head all the time. And let me tell you, they're idiots. Announce you to the common folk. Spot of tea? To the spot of tea? To the common folk? I'm not exactly sure if I understand what you're asking. Announce you? Is that like a British thing? Announce you? But yeah, I mean, the whole idea of like, oh man, speaking of this, remember in The Simpsons when there's the episode with Becky and Marge and Becky are in an argument, and then Marge storms off, and then she's in the car driving away, and she says, I always think of the perfect thing to say right when it's too late. Shut up, Becky! Oh, that would have been sweet. Just that's the thing she should have said. Shut up, Becky! Then she eventually says it. I don't remember that part. I remember that being in Seinfeld. Oh, this was also a bit in Seinfeld, where the guy says to George, the ocean called, they're running out of shrimp. And then he like has to come, and then he spends the whole episode coming up with the comeback. The jerk store called, they're running out of you. But and then like he's like workshopping it with the other characters, and they're telling him that he should say something else. And he's like, no, I'm going with jerk store. And then it happens. Then like they have shrimp at the work again, and he's like eating all the shrimp really fucking like way more dramatically that time to get the guy to say the shrimp, the ocean line again, so that he can hit him with his comeback. And then he does. He stands up all proud. The jerk store called. They're running out of you. Right, and then the guy just comes back. What's the difference? You're their #1 seller. Right! That was the other part of the joke, is that before, when he's telling his friends that he's going to do the jerk store line, they suggest that instead his comeback should be that he slept with his wife. And he says, no, he's going with jerk store. So then when the guy says the #1 seller line, then he says that I slept with your wife line. Oh, Seinfeld is fucking classic, dude. I do think that Curb Your Enthusiasm I like more. I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is funnier. Like when I watch Curb, you're just dying. Like I'm just dying laughing with that show. But Seinfeld's like the classic, you know. You own 2 seasons on DVD. Nowadays, Nicole has HBO Max, so I end up watching them on HBO Max. I gotta say, as far as all of the streaming platforms go, I think I get the most out of Hulu, because they've got X-Files and Futurama. But lately, I've been using HBO Max the most. Because they've got not only like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but they've also got a lot of movies that are good. Like when I watched the 4 Mad Max movies, 2 of them were just on HBO Max. I think it was Fury Road and Road Warrior, which are the 2 good ones. The 2 best ones were on HBO Max already. And then I think I had to rent 1 and 3. You liked that show, Home Movies? Home Movies is a great show. This one has a special name. We've got another rare monster, folks. Another rare monster. All right. We're getting rid of those 2. And now we're going Gambits. We're switching everybody to steel. Alright, we only have to do this every rare monster. Switching everyone to Thief's Cuffs. Let's go. Oh, look at the efficiency now. Rainbow egg. Okay, we got it. Alright, so now Genji, Diamond Armlet, Ribbon, Gambits, whoop, attack, attack, attack. Hadn't seen Road Warrior till a few months ago. HBO doesn't have Thunderdome. Dude, Thunderdome, I was tricked into watching Thunderdome, essentially. I mean, like, I was gonna watch it, right? Because I was watching all of them. I was gonna watch it. But Taco told me it was awesome. That movie fucking sucked. I hardly finished it. Ooh, I could barely finish it. I almost turned it off. Clan Primer. Rare game. No! Oh, shit, I had already found this one. Fuck! Alright, I had already found that one. Ba-ba-ba-bum. It started out okay. I liked. I mean, I won't say too much about it since Scap is talking about watching it. I'll just say I enjoyed the first act. The first act was fun enough. I didn't like it as much as the other movies, and it was much more annoying the way that it was done, with like the amount more exposition that there was of characters just talking and talking about who they are and what they're gonna do and why and stuff. I'm just like, what the fuck is all this, right? It was a little annoying. But then the actual Thunderdome part was enjoyable enough, and I was like, okay, this is picking up a little bit. And then immediately after the actual Thunderdome scene, absolutely shit the bed, and I hated the rest of the movie. Hated it. But hey, you know what it was better than? Fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation recently, and that is probably the actual worst movie I've ever finished. You know what I mean? Like, I've turned movies off before. Like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, for example. I just walked out of that movie. Well, walked out. I wasn't in the theaters. My roommates were watching it. And they demanded I watch it because they told me it was awesome. I have to see it. It's so cool, right? So, they put it on, and, dude, fucking 15 minutes into that movie, I was like, I cannot do it. This is the worst thing I've ever seen, right? So, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen probably is the worst movie I've ever seen. But Mortal Kombat Annihilation was the first movie, or was probably the worst movie I ever finished. You loved it as a kid? Oh, me too. You know, because as a kid, you don't really care about the narrative. You just want to see video game characters that you recognize fighting each other. And let me tell you, that's all that movie is. All Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a character saying something to establish a scene, and then another video game character shows up and they fight. And then we move on to another scene where there's a couple lines of dialogue that are written and directed and acted just as cheesy and poorly as a soap opera. They'll say just a couple lines, and then another Mortal Kombat video game character shows up and they fight. And it's just that for 90 minutes. It's like the movie, what the movie feels like is it feels like the final 3 episodes of a season of television that you didn't watch. That was the first one, Taco, and that was the worst thing about the first one, was CG Reptile. Oh, CG Reptile was so cheesy and bad. But the rest of the first Mortal Kombat movie I liked. I thought the first Mortal Kombat movie was enjoyable. And it seemed like everybody was there to make a good movie, you know? As cheesy as it was a movie with a movie plot, and the actors were there to earnestly give the best performance that they could, you know, with the silly movie. But with Annihilation, they weren't even trying, dude. They weren't even trying. It was just like, we just gotta plug in every character that we can. I mean, dude, there's a part where Liu Kang is walking around minding his own business, and he randomly gets attacked by a werewolf. And then after he throws the werewolf off, it's a terrible CG werewolf, by the way. And then the werewolf, terrible CG, morphs into fucking Nighthawk, or whatever the hell his name is, who then says to him, quote, word for word, "That was my animality." Right? And then they talk for a couple seconds, and then I think fucking Jade shows up, and then they fight. And oh god, it's bad, dude. And also just the fighting just gets so it gets so old, right? You see so much. Oh yes, "That was my animality" is the line that is spoken in the movie. Spoken in 100% earnest. So, the thing is also just, it's like, okay, and here's the deal. And here's the deal. You might be hearing all of this and saying, like someone already said in chat, that this sounds like bad movie gold. And it is bad movie gold for about a half hour. And then after 30 minutes straight of this movie happening, you're sick of it. You know, you're just sick of it. But it goes on for another hour. I was falling asleep, dude. I said that it was the worst movie that I've ever finished. I don't even know if you could say that I did finish it, because I definitely fell asleep in part of it. Because it just got so fucking boring after a while of just nothing happening. It's just, except for characters saying nonsense to each other and then fighting. That's from the game. That's from the game. Dude, Taco, I can perfectly... You just made me a viral Twitter post, right? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post the screenshot of Nighthawk, or what? Is his name even Nighthawk? I'm gonna post a shot of the movie of him with the "That was my animality" subtitle, right? And then under that, I'm gonna put the meme of the guy talking to the girl who's uninterested, saying that's from the game. It's gonna do numbers, dude. Oh man, I never saw Dragon Ball Evolution, but it did indeed look like the worst idea for a movie I've ever seen. And on top of that, Oh, I did see the Giant Bomb quick look of the PSP game. Remember the PSP game based on the Dragon Ball Evolution movie? It did not look good. And yeah, I've also heard that Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is a pretty bad movie. Night Wolf? Oh, his name is Night Wolf? Okay. What's the guy in Killer Instinct that's like the same character? Thunderhawk? Is there a character named Thunderhawk in Killer Instinct? I can hear the Killer Instinct Super Nintendo voice. Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk. You know what I'm saying? Spinal. Glacius. Thunderhawk. Chief Thunder? That doesn't sound right. Chief Thunder? No, it was Thunderhawk, I'm pretty sure. Thunderhawk. But then for some reason he said, Cinder, right? He got really excited about Cinder. Spinal. Cinder. What is this drawing? This isn't even the guy. Wait, no, that's appearance. I want appearances. Killer Instinct. Okay, so this is just calling him Thunder, but I guess so he's just Thunder now in the new one. That's what I'm getting out of this. Chief Thunder. I don't remember that at all, dude. I mean, I only ever played a Spinal anyway, though, because he was a skeleton. That's it. I can stop right there. He was a skeleton, so I always played as him. Actually, though, I did like Cinder a lot as well. I played as Cinder quite a bit because of his fireball move. Like the move where he could shoot across the screen as a fireball. I really liked that move. Because you could either use it as an attack, or you could like jump and fireball in order to get across the screen quickly. I played a lot of Killer Instinct when I was a kid, kind of. You know what? It's actually kind of sad to think that I've definitely played more Killer Instinct than any other fighting game. And the reason that that's kind of sad to think is because if you go back and you play it right now, Killer Instinct is not a very good game. Like, Killer Instinct is definitely, like, very fondly remembered by all of us who played it as kids. But, like, if you go back and play it now, But yeah, Fulgor, Glacius, DJ Combo? Was there a character named DJ Combo? Let me guess. In the new Killer Instinct, he's just Combo. Oh, it was TJ Combo. Okay, there we go. It's like when wrestlers go to WWE and they don't get to have a whole name anymore. They just get brought down to one name. Like Adrian Neville just became Neville. Street Fighter 2 was already out at the time. Yeah, I didn't care for Street Fighter for some reason. Except for when Ryu says, "But it's a dragon!" You know, that was always fun. Pokémon. Oh, right, B. Orchid? Was she the one dressed in green? With the cans? Oh, and there was like a raptor enemy. Was his name like Rip? Rip? I gotta remember his name. No looking at chat. Gotta remember his name. Okay, I feel like the first syllable of it was rip. But is that too similar to rap and he's a raptor? I think it was, though. I think it was rip. Or maybe it started with a V? Can't remember. It was Riptor? Oh my god. Riptor was the first thing that I thought, except the fact that it's so close to Raptor. I thought Raptor, it's way too fucking stupid. It's way too stupid to call your Raptor Riptor. But no, I guess that is just what it was. The Terror Tyrant! Okay, there's no way that this is not our boy. No way that this is not our boy. The Terror Tyrant? I feel like I already fought this guy. Whoops. You know what I'm going to do to save some time? Get rid of this Isuna thing, and we'll just do that from now on. Oh, whoops. I gotta see if I've already fought this guy, because I feel like I have. I just feel like I remember it. The Terror Tyrant. No! Let's go! This is he. Oh, here he comes. Alright, hang on. Fran's doing the bubble. Alright, here we go. A Scathe moat. Okay. So now we can go boom, boom. Let's. Yeah, we'll still do this. So boom. Boom. All right. And then Genji gloves, diamond armlet, ribbon, and let's go. So now, Fran, you should dispel. Whoa, nice 4-hit combo. Whoa! So I guess he's got an instant kill attack. Let's try to get this this camera out here. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, there's the trophy. Very nice, very nice. Protect bubble shell. All right, let's go. So it only, it only took an hour, right? Or more. Actually, dude, did that take like 3 hours to find that guy? When did I start playing this game? I think it might have taken like 3 hours to find that guy. However, we also found several other guys along the way. Oh, is the fire elemental gonna be here also? Because we only have to fight one fire elemental in order to get credit on the bestiary. By the way, why is it called a bestiary? When I was a kid, I always wanted to call it a bestiary. But I heard that it was a bestiary. But bestiary. It's got beasts in it. What is like the root word of bestiary? Whoa, look at all these worgans. Remember when these guys were trouble? It's fun thinking back to like when these regular mobs were tough to deal with. Latin word bestiarium. Oh yeah? What the fuck does that mean? Alright, here we go. Boom. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. The in-game time here is making it look like that only took, or that took less time, but maybe I saved at some point. All right, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. Let's go. Ooh, all right, all right. Okay. So, we are here. There's the dudes that we need to turn the trophy into over here. I'm gonna keep going with this guy that gives weapons. Here you go. There's a trophy for you. Oh, right. It's this guy that we talked to. He's got nothing. I think that's how it works, right? That guy, I shouldn't say right like that. That's just the way I talk. I'm not actually asking. But yeah, I think that's how it works. Is that guy gets stalked when we give trophies. Okay. How about you? Come to me if you want to hear about big game. There's a mighty worm supposed to roam about these parts. Now, how to find it? Okay. A mighty worm in the Fawn Coast, apparently. Man, this place is fucking huge. It's gonna take forever to find this guy. But hopefully, just like before, the Midgarzolem. Hopefully, just like before, we'll find a bunch of other rare monsters on the way, you know? So one thing that I'll do is I'll do a quick check-in with Mont Blanc here. Because we don't know how many rare monsters we need to hunt before he gives us the final hunt. I also need to buy a bunch of teleport stones. So why don't we come right over to the bazaar here? Okay. Wait, what am I doing? Bazaar. I always forget that there's teleporters here. Alright, so Clan Provisioner. Let's go sell. Pop down here. Yo, Kino. Rainbow Egg. Scream Rook. This thing. This thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got 22 of these now. Quality pelt, pebbles, tanned tyrant hide, bundle of feathers. All right. Looks like we're back. Oh. I did. So that is so it's not Super Mario Bros. It is. Don't get too excited. Not Super Mario Bros. It's Super Mario Bros. 2. Got a sec. Got 1.5 or 1.5 seconds. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba ba da da dun da 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 dun. Let's just fill up on teleport stones. Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty fancy skip. Yeah, so the thing is, you can... So fire bars aren't, like, smooth, right? They go here, then here, then here, then here. So it's always been possible to have Mario be here and the fire bar be here on one frame, and then have them flip for the next frame. if Mario's going fast enough and and right aligned with the fire bar. That's always been possible, and the Taz has always done that, even just for fun. But the only so one spot though that it saves time to learn how to do it RTA is one of the castles in Super Mario Bros. 2. There's a super long spinning flame that the puzzle is that you're supposed to wait for it to pass and then run under it. But you know, it's a little bit faster to just run through it. But there's nowhere in SMB1 where that would be helpful, where the same strat would be helpful, as far as any percent goes. Okay, so Mont Blanc still does not have another hunt for us, so okay, let's go get another one. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking sick that people are doing that now. Bum ba bum ba ba da da dum. Oh man, just today, someone posted on my original Calm Skip video that I didn't mention that you're not allowed to do any diagonals after you run past Calm in the setup. So that's funny. That superstition is still floating around. It is down to get to the orange crystal, right? You'd think, yeah, the old one. Bum ba ba da da dum. Okay, now we teleport back to Fawn Coast. Oh yeah. The no diagonals thing is very specifically, very strictly a Cosmo Canyon skip thing. And technically, if you want to get super technical, you also should not do diagonals when you are setting up the Midgar to Chocobo Ranch. The Midgar to Chocobo Ranch world map manipulation. That's also no diagonals. Because you're trying to hit the reason for that one, though, is because you're trying to hit the Zolom box at a specific time. Which means if you did any diagonals, then Cloud won't be in the right... He won't be in the expected position, right? It's less that you're not allowed to do diagonals and more... Okay, you know what? Yeah, I take it back. You can do diagonals for Midgar to Choco Ranch world map manipulation. It's just that the current manip expectation is routed upon you not doing them. You know what I mean? The thing that has currently been researched is not doing diagonals. And that's the only reason. Because they would be really hard to do. Okay. There is a mighty worm supposed to roam around these parts. Now, how to find it? Okay. Did the river Calmskip have a force lock chance? Force lock? You mean like oh, there was still a chance. The chance was smaller because there was only one battle check over the river, but there was a chance for it. Yes. So I think how it works is the original Calm Skip had 1 battle check over the river, and the mountain Calm Skip has 3 battle checks, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, alright. We are here looking for a mighty worm. Are you guys ready to just fucking adventure around the coast for a while? I kind of feel like a mighty worm would be hanging out high up. Man, I love the look of this place. Whew. Whoa, 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 look at these little guys. But they're also friendly. Get him! Get him! Yesterday we were talking about Ego Raptor and like that old era of internet content. Do you guys remember when Ego Raptor was on that reality show, The Tester? First of all, do you guys remember Sony's reality show, The Tester? Where it was like a Survivor kind of show, where they had to like vote people off and do challenges. And the winner got to be a fucking video game tester for Sony. And Ego Raptor was a contestant on the show. Bwah, 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 bwah. It's kind of funny, that kind of thing, because, like, testing games is not a glamorous job, right? But I think a lot of young people have the idea that it is. And so it's a really funny idea for a reality show. Because you'll get young people that are like, oh, Pog, a video game tester, you know what I mean? But, like, any adult who's watching the show is like, it's funny that they're competing to have a shitty job. I would kind of wonder, though, if you were the winner of that reality show, you know? I was just getting at that, Sozy. Yes, I was just saying, if you were a video game tester for Sony, and the way that you got the job was from winning a reality show, so you already have, like, television experience, I feel like that would be a very nice entry point to then probably be able to, like, be on fucking Attack of the Show or something, right? Or, like, you know. I wonder if we can find the worm by running around on a chocobo. I gotta remember to try that. In fact, let's just try that right now. Let's get the lay of the land here. Okay, real quick. Oh, but it's timed! I always forget that chocobo riding is timed. Oh, excuse me. Oh. You're considering getting into it with testing? Yeah, I mean, if it's your style, right, then I think it would be a pretty good job. So I've got a buddy who has a game in early access right now. And before it launched, he had me like play it and test it a bunch and like report bugs and stuff. And he was telling me that I should look into, like, perhaps I should look into doing it as a profession, because I gave very good feedback. Because like, when I found a bug, I didn't just tell him I found a bug. I would investigate it, you know, and I would figure out how exactly to trigger it. And I would tell him, okay, I found this bug. This is exactly how you trigger it. And so I imagine it has to do with this, you know? Bum, 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 bum. The fact that chocobos are timed almost makes me wonder if, like, the way that you spawn the monster is to get a chocobo into a certain place, you know? Where, like, you kind of have to race to get there. Bum, 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 bum. By the way, my buddy's game that's in early access, it's called Astral Gunners, and you guys should buy it and play it, because it's fucking awesome. I'm looking forward to the 1.0 release, so I can, play that a bit more, establish world record and all that. Oh, alright. Chocobo's gone. It is a shmup. As in, like, side-scrolling, you shoot a bunch of things, and it has like a in-depth scoring system where, like, oh, it's like a bullet hell. I didn't mention that. It's a bullet hell. Now, I've never played a bullet hell before. I've not really played shmups before, and I found the different difficulty settings and the multiple playable characters to make it, like, really nice to get into. Cause yeah, I haven't played those kinds of games before, but, like, I play video games. So I could jump in on, like, normal mode, you know, and play it a bunch. And it's a really interesting, I at least had a really interesting experience with it, where, like, at first you're just trying to survive, right? Because it's bullet hell, and you're like, oh fuck, and you're trying to survive, you know. But then once you start to get good at it, you know, each character has, like, a special move, right? And their special moves, if used correctly, can convert enemy bullets into score multiplier. And so at first, you kind of use your special just defensively to survive, you know? As, like, a big burst of damage on a boss, or, like, as, like, an oh shit button if you're about to die, that kind of thing, you know? But then, once you start to get a bit better at it, you know, you start to use your specials offensively a bit more often, to start to get a better score, you know? And then you start to, like, figure out what the optimal places are to use your specials, you know, in order to, like, trigger the most multiplier and that kind of thing. There's a whole mechanic where it's like, you know, each of the score multipliers, it raises your multiplier up to 100. But if you actually hit 100 on your score multiplier, it puts you into an overload mechanic where then it instead of 100 times multiplier, it boosts all the way up to 200 times multiplier for a limited time. So you get this burst of 200 times multiplier. And so you start to kind of like route out where you use your specials in order to trigger those overloads at the right times, you know? So yeah, I found it to be like, it's really fun at first because you're just trying to survive. The game is fun. It's really well designed. But then you start to get into the scoring and it's like, whoa. But even if you don't want to get into the scoring and you do just think that like the survival part of the game is fun, there's a hard mode and a very hard mode. And there's also 5 playable characters. So just like, and which play very differently from each other. So just like playing the game on the different difficulties with the different characters and stuff gives you like a lot of stuff to do, even if you don't get into the scoring mechanics right away and stuff. So yeah, just a really, really awesome game. I like, you know, yeah, my buddy made it, so I'm inclined to like it. But I got really into it, you know. If I wasn't super into it, I would have just been like, yeah, it's good, you know. But no. I played this game for almost 200 hours. And I plan on getting back into it once another update happens. But yeah, yeah, I mean, also let me put it this way, right? If I didn't genuinely like the game, I wouldn't have brought it up. But yeah, my favorite character, there's 5 characters. My favorite is the green guy. He's kind of tough to use, but his basic attack, if you do it right, is the strongest. His deal is that he's got a little buddy with him, an option, you know. In shmups, they call them options for some reason, when you have like a little thing that follows you around and also shoots. So he's got a little thing that follows him around and also shoots. And you can oh, what's this exclamation part? Oh, there's just this. He's got a little buddy that follows him around, but you can like lock it in place, you know. So there's times where you want to like lock it up high while you shoot down low to get a wider spread on what you're shooting and that kind of thing. You can also each character has a defensive move that they can do, and if the green gunner has his option locked off in another part of the screen, then the defensive maneuver is they teleport swap with each other. So there's like some spots where you can use that to do some really tricky stuff, and yeah, that character is just super fun. But the other characters are like the main character, the light gunner. They're like each character has an attack and an alternate attack. Everybody's attack is just they shoot, right? They just shoot a stream of bullets. But you know, the different characters have different strengths of their main attack, right? And then each character has an alternate fire as well. So the green gunner that I was just talking about actually doesn't even really have much of a secondary attack, because instead his secondary shot is to control the option, you know. That's how you lock it in place, that's how you move it. But to make up for him not having a second shot, the thing is, his regular shot, if you are combining, you know, including both the gunner and the option together, it's the strongest main shot stream of bullets in the game. So, like, it's balanced really interestingly that way. But like the other characters, right? The light gunner, for example, he's got like homing missiles that charge up over time. So like as long as you're timing it right, as long as you're timing your shots of the, because it's one of those things where it charges up over time, but then when it reaches full, there's like a spike in how powerful it becomes. So it benefits you to wait and always shoot a fully charged shot, you know? And so if and as long as you're timing that out right, those are super strong. The red gunner has a charge shot that he does where it's like you have to stop. You know, you have to stop shooting and actually charge it up and then release it, right? But it does like a fucking dickload of damage, you know? So he's really good at like taking down bosses really quickly with the charge shots. The there's two characters I haven't talked about, right? Yeah, the blue gunner shoots out a piercing laser as his secondary shot, which is just very, very good for damage, especially because it pierces, right? So it hits everything in the line, and it's pretty strong. But when you're using it, he moves very slowly. So like his kind of thing, a lot of the time is like shooting out the lasers for just the right amount of time before you have to move into your next spot. And then finally, the purple gunner, I think it might be Violet, is a melee character. So he's got a regular shot, but then his secondary shot is a sword slash, which does a shitload. Probably, I think it does even more damage than the charge shots that the red guy can do. But like you have to be up in the enemy's face to do it, which in a bullet hell game can be very, very scary and risky. But it's super fun to use the melee shots. So yeah. Anyway, there's your there's the big breakdown of the characters, and of course if you get into the scoring of the game. It's like, if you get into the scoring, then it's like these different characters. I mentioned that you end up coming up with like a route of where are the best places to use your specials, you know, to like overload at the right times and that kind of thing. Every character has like a different route, you know, because all of their specials are different, firstly. For example, like, one of the sickest things, right, is I mentioned that their specials convert the bullets into score multiplier, and then when you hit 100 is when the overload happens. You can't always do that in a single special usage, you know? And that especially depends on which character you are, you know? Sometimes you gotta do some tricky fuckery in order to be able to, like, get it to where you can overload with a single special usage. But like whether you can do that depends on what part you're at, what character you are, and like maybe some extra stipulation that you have to do. Like sometimes you kind of have to stop firing for a minute and allow enemies on screen to fill the screen with bullets that you would otherwise normally be shooting them before they could do that. And then you can use your special to scoop it all up, you know, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's a really in-depth game. It's very, very cool. Oh yeah, and the soundtrack kicks ass, right. Scat mentioned that the soundtrack's really good. The soundtrack is also very, very good. If you like power metal. I'm not into power metal as a daily listen, right? I'm not listening to power metal every day, but like when you're playing a shmup and there's good power metal playing, it's fucking great. Yo, Tim? Yeah, I got a no poison bottoms well, and then I don't really have time today to to do a long, you know, like let's reset at 2 p.m. Kind of day, you know. Okay. We got to go up north and check these other 2 spots. How to get the worm to spawn. So I did a shorter tutorial video about the weight trick specifically, and it kind of popped off. Like it's gotten its like the average amount of views that these tutorial videos are getting, it got like right away. Now I kind of wish that there was something more that I specified about it. I didn't mention how much easier it is to weight trick when you're hasted, and like how hasting the party is really, really important, and that 2 things. That like during boss fights, weight tricking is much more prevalent because the boss animations are a lot longer and your party is hasted. In the examples I was showing, the party was not hasted, and it was against regular enemies. But oh well. I mean, we'll get to that. The thing is, we'll get to that on like the diamond weapon fight, especially. Treasure. Another chocobo up here. Whoa, you actually can't take it down from here? Oh, because that's like the town. Alright, alright. I think... I got a feeling that there is a rare monster that is linked to your chocobo status. I'm on a chocobo. Come get me. It's not... Whoop! It's not that guy. Whoa, we can actually take this up here? Isn't this a different area? Oh no, there's one more little spot. Yeah, yeah, look at this spot. Look at this spot. Eh? Any giant worms interested in this bird? Oh, what's this? Oh, hey, what's this? Oh, I think I know about this. This is just like a secret passage between those 2 spots. Right. What if we take the chocobo up here, huh? I mean, this is where we already had to be in order to spawn the other rare guy. So I don't... like, if there's a spot I'm supposed to bring the Chocobo, I don't think it'll be up there. Oh, whoops. Well, alrighty. Yeah, I really like that area as well. The Deadlands. This game has a lot of really cool areas. Hell of a good world map. Well, alright, let's keep a looking. Where and why would a worm spawn? I kind of want to rezone from the top here, you know, just in case. And then while I'm here, well, we don't have to worry. I was going to say, I could check the bestiary to see, like, what monsters I need to defeat more of in order to fill it out. But, I mean, if I'm here, we're just going to fill them all out, you know? The thing I kind of screwed up as far as that goes is, I didn't fight that one fire elemental. Hi, Mia. Are you here to cuddle nicely again? Yeah. Let's get Cuddle Cam going here. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, for sure. All right, all right. Oh. What you doing, Mia? Okay, okay. Just taking a quick look at the names of each of these places to see if there's... So yeah, he just said these lands, which I can only imagine means the Fawn Coast, right? Can't imagine that that would mean a neighboring area. But let's talk to a couple others here, see if anybody else says anything. I don't recall if, like, the main guy gives you any info. So, yeah, here's this guy. He says, reports from a certain... Oh! This is different. Hang on, hang on. I get reports from a certain port town about a big, tough-shelled nasty in that neck of the woods. Oh. Well, now he's saying something different. Okay, that's fine. So, I'm fine with that, because that's the Uplands, Sorobi Steppe. So, Balfenheim Port. So, it's going to be in the Sorobi Steppe. A big shelled fellow. Excuse me. Is this a place that I can warp from? No. I mean warp as in use the straw. So I guess to get there, yeah, we just go to the port. Yes, Mia? Bum 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 ba da bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba da bum. Alright. Let's go find this big shelled doofus. I wonder if the guy just, like, changes what monster he tells you about every so often. So we're looking for a big turtle with a big shell. Talk about a big shell incident, you know what I'm saying? Alright, alright. Hell of a shot. What is this thing? Is this normal for this place? Looks like it. That might even be just like the same enemy that we just fought. And I just didn't realize on the first one that it wasn't a bird. Mad bombers? Will POTUS be grabbing our crotch? You're a man? Oh man, remember that part where you gotta like drive the remote control missiles through the vents and past the president and... Oh man. Great part. What a game, dude. Okay, so we're just supposed to find a big tortoise, which seems, you know, sounds easy enough. They didn't say anything too specific about it. I wonder how far we can go, though, before we're no longer in their neck of the woods, you know what I mean? But I'm going to try north first. For some of these, I'm not even sure how specific of an area you need to be in, you know? Like, maybe it just has a chance to spawn anywhere in this whole zone. Alright, alright. So this place has these guys. These guys used to be super tough. I had to be all buffed up to fight them. Okay, though. Eyes out. Eyes out for a big turtle. Man, my left foot is super warm right now, but my right foot is super cold. Probably because of the way that I have my legs crossed for this cat. You know, so she can sit here and paw at my controller. Yeah, it's funny. I remember being here earlier, and just each of these monsters having to be like, you know, relatively careful fighting these guys. Ringworm scale. Whoa. Alright, let's try up here at the river. I feel like a turtle is going to be by the river, right? I'm also noticing that this place was raining when I first got here, and I kind of wonder if you need it to be raining. Wait, this isn't the river? Now you're just being so sweet, Mia. Oh, is this our boy? Nope, okay. But this is where turtles are. So indeed, there are turtles at the river. Yeah, look how sweet she's being. Oh. Okay, another normal turtle. I definitely think it was the right call to come to the river. Alright, alright. Look at this big guy. Bum 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 bum. So, oh, is Mia getting to face cleaning? She might be cleaning her face. I said something about it. Now she quit. Cats cleaning their faces, though. Whoa, whoa! Hello? What happened? Is somebody confused? Okay, hang on. Someone might have gotten confused. It looks like Balthier got confused, took out Ash, and then almost took himself out. I looked away for a second because Mia was cleaning her face, and I was trying to sell, I was trying to, say how cute it is when cats clean their faces. Fill out Vaughn and the others' license grids? Nah, it takes so long to fill out a license grid with, like, having to watch the animation for every square. I wish there was a faster way to do it. Ooh, it's raining now. Show me a raining river. Ooh, okay, now it's raining at the river. Whoop. Oh, okay, okay. The Adamant Titan. What's going on here? I got a ping. Oh, okay. Look at this. Sometimes Mia's just gotta have her hand, like, up messing with what you're doing. I feel like Raining River. Just something tells me, because, you know, this is like where you'd find a turtle, right? Something tells me this is where we need to, Mia. Oh, she's getting ridiculous with her paws up on the controller. Kicking my hand. This is cute, though. Much, much cuter than what she was doing before. All right, we're clearing it out. So how many trophies have we gotten today? We got 1 trophy, right? And fought like 2 rare monsters on the way, 2 or 3 other rare monsters on the way to it. I have not found another rare monster on the coast or in this area yet. Okay. Oh. Right arm is getting a little sore working this camera. So I'm really wanting to do a hundo this month, I think. I might spend a couple days researching the hundo route, you know, to learn kind of some of the stuff I forgot about, kind of relearn it, you know. Yeah, and this time do a turbo hundo. I do. It is what is it? I think it's like 1835 or somewhere in the realm of 1835. Oh boy. $18.26. There we go. Oh, I gotta rest my right hand, but like Mia's demanding I pet her. We'll just play with the left hand over here. Okay, I'm starting to think that just running back and forth around this area might not spawn the rare guy. And there might be something slightly more clever that I have to do. Or I might just have to, you know, might just be in a different area. Maybe I got to rezone. Whoa, this is interesting. So I was talking about how, like, my muscle memory has gotten used to this game's camera controls, where like it's the x-axis is like reversed from modern games, you know. And I'm so used to it that now I have to play Elden Ring with my x-axis reversed, you know, because of this game and you know other games of this era like Mario Sunshine and stuff that have the camera like this and you can't change it, you know. I'm super used to it. However, now if I try to play the game there it is. But okay, yes, indeed, there is a confusion happening around here. Confuse is the deadliest thing in this whole game. But yeah, so now playing the game one-handed though, like playing the game one-handed, I want the x-axis to be the other way. I'm moving it wrong every time. That's interesting. I have to really think about it to get it right. Alright. So the rain did not seem to be the ticket. Let's just come up this way, see what we can find. Ash has these instant KO arrows now that occasionally proc, which is fun. Oh. I could maybe set the gambits to just auto-attack everything in the area. Oh no, confuse again! Dude, I feel like we gotta, Oh god, no, he took himself out too quickly. Okay, Mia. It's a little bit too much with the pause, really. Okay, I think in this area we gotta put the bowline sash back on. There it is. And then Ash has the ribbon, right? Yeah. There we go. So that'll quit being a problem now. We do still have the thing of only Fran being able to attack these guys, and she prioritizes regen over attacking. You know what? I'll just switch that right now. Let's pop in here. She's the only one that I have do that. But right now, I kind of don't want that to be the case. Alright. Pow! Yes, Mia. I feel like I've gotten 2 trophies today. But I can't remember what the first one was, if that's true. I don't think so. I think it was just the Esther Sand, which was the Tyrant. Okay, okay. This one, if I don't find this right away, I should probably just write down the clue. Because if he does, like, flip between which clues he gives, I want to be able to remember this one. Since it seems... this one feels like it's relatively easy. Mia's whipping her... she's whipping her tail around. That tells me she's getting a little bit more mischievous now. You know, she cuddled for a minute. You know, she came down, she cuddled. Oh, here it comes. She's starting to get restless. There goes the tail. She's thinking about what... oh, she's even looking around now. She's calculating what next to fuck with. Mia. Nicole will be home soon. Don't you worry about it. She'll be home soon. I'll give you some treats right after the stream, and then maybe that'll tide you over until dinner. Whoa. Oh, you better not be going into the fuckery zone, Mia. She is leaning on the PS2. Okay, okay. So, I'm thinking that's gonna do it for today's stream. We found we found one of our monsters. I'm gonna write this one down so we can find it later. But for now, thing is, I'm crazy anxious that Mia is like on the move again, you know? I just think she's gonna start messing with me again, and I really don't want to like cave and give her treats or something and reward bad behavior, so I'd rather like reward good behavior right now. So I'm gonna go do that, give her some treats for cuddling nicely and stuff. And then I just saved, right? And then yeah, got some stuff I got to do this evening. So I'll probably be working on the tutorial a bit more after I take care of some other stuff this evening. But other than that, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. A little bit shorter of an ending. Little bit shorter of an ending for the stream today, but I will be back tomorrow as usual. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It was super fun. The Final Fantasy VII was fun. Final Fantasy 12 was very fun. Yeah, having you know, hopefully we'll get a few more of these hunts done, and hopefully we'll get that last hunt from Mont Blanc, and we'll be able to get to the bottom of that. I'm looking forward to it. But okay. For now, just taking a look around at who's doing what. The B-Sage is running Hundo? Okay, the B-Sage is running Hundo. So I'm going to send you guys over there for sure. Speaking of hundo, here you go. Go check out the B-Sage. He's doing a hundo right now. Have yourselves a great night. See ya!
Okay, park this here. Ride the truck over here. Yeah. Whoa!